Back to my zero viewer live stream of studying chemistry. Because chemistry is such a brilliant topic that I love it so much that the moment I wake up from sleep, I imagine chemistry making a rocket. And as such, I'm gonna be studying the golden age of chemistry and studying about its chemical elements. Seems like the new metals era was kind of big. What location should I choose next? Beneath it? Yeah, beneath sounds good. Mm, Yes, I'm not joking. The moment I woke up, I'm like, chemistry. I must understand all elements so I can make robot. Robot that will fly across the universe. That will take me across the universe. But then I'm like, nah man, I should sleep. But then I'm like, no, I can do this. So even with zero viewers, I'm gonna be studying everyone's favorite subject known as chemistry. The 18th century was the age what is sometimes called chemical revolution. Humans though doesn't ever evolve without mess and arguments, error and confusion. That's true. All we do is learn from trial and error. Chemistry became quantitative. It didn't matter what would react with it, but in what proportion. We all had a love for chemistry. Chemistry drew up increasingly elaborate affinity tables showing how readily different elements are opposed to combining. And chemists were on their way to changing the world. Lavoisier's furnished chemistry with a clear way to define elements. They are, he said, substances that cannot be split into smaller ones by chemical reactions. I wonder what time I'll find a gravity particle. Oil of vitriol became sulfuric acid, and flowers of zinc became zinc oxide. An elementary treatise of chemistry. And back then, there were 33 elements, bearing names of the past. First element is hydrogen. Okay. Of course, hydrogen. Who wouldn't like hydrogen? Being a non-metal, atomic number of 1, and the first one in the periodic table. It was a new type of air in 1766. Cosmically speaking, hydrogen is everywhere. The most abundant element in the universe. Fully 9 out of every atom in the cosmos is a hydrogen atom, and most stars are made predominantly of this element. The atmospheres of gas giant planets as Saturn and Jupiter making up 80 to 96% hydrogen. There are hardly any pure hydrogen in Earth's atmosphere because lightest of all elements and planet's gravity can't hold on to it. 13% of the elements in Earth's crust. The purest way to make hydrogen is to pull the atoms from water molecules. This is the same as dissolving a fairly reactive metal in acid. It was inflammable air. Cavendish was supremely careful experimenter who accurately measured the gas. Having no time for company or custom, dressing shabbily and never marrying, he could be found snuffling in his room to room in the Royal Society, in his lab shunning and discovering all types of elements. Bro, Cavendish might just be the goat. He loved chemistry so much he never even married, so he can lock it. That's why he discovered hydrogen with so many details. By reacting iron fillings with acid, sulfuric, creating an inflammable gas called hydrogen. The more phlogiston of substance contained, the more combustible it was. The water was being formed from common air and inflammable air. He was right, although he adheres to the phlogiston theory prevented him from expressing it in the way he would today. Hydrogen combines with oxygen in the air to make water. CO2. Wait, H2O, not CO2. Generator of water. A balloon filled with buoyant will rise up. Wow, they also created balloon flight. Hydrogen's discovery did create the balloon system, so that's great. Now let me get some facts about hydrogen. Oh, yo, I had one viewer earlier. That's shocking. He left though. He was here 4 minutes ago. Until then, it's gonna be me and myself. Mhm. Let me go down. Hmm. Reacting to create H2O, my favorite. Everyone's favorite. Well, hydrogen is not loyal. It leaves to space. I thought it would stay with us, but it doesn't. Just has a mindset. Now let me check what hydrogen created. I mean, where we apply hydrogen with. Hmm. Petroleum. Oh. can crack heavy hydrocarbons into usable gasoline and diesel. Who doesn't love diesel? A diesel powered phone. I need to create a diesel powered phone in the future. It's a lifelong goal. This, the wife, it will run on a generator, making sounds like a tractor. Fuel cell vehicles. Wow. Oh yeah, I remember there are like cars that run on hydrogen purely, which release water from its tailpipes because they use platinum as a catalyst to generate electricity. Wow, hydrogen is also used for rocket fuel. It's used for everything. It might be the most useful thing as it's so abundant. Alright, these are some details. As you can see, hydrogen has way too many uses. It's in the molecule of water itself, or fossil fuels like methane. To get pure hydrogen, we have to tear these molecules apart. And how do we make hydrogen? Well, to get the purest form, you can use electrolysis, which is in simplicity, it's just putting electrical current through water. You force the water molecules to split up into hydrogen gas at negative electrodes and oxygen gas at positive electrode. If you power this process using a solar or wind energy, it is called green hydrogen. Maybe I should make a hydrogen phone. The only downside to it is it will explode in my ears and I will die. That will be a top 10 problematic things. Plus, there are no images. I need an image. How will I remember hydrogen without the popular infamous balloon? Okay, bro, you're a bit too big. We don't need you this big in life. Hmm. Alrighty, hydrogen is done. And it was a very cool, lovely, beautiful molecule. What does the author have us next? Oxygen. Oh my god, I've never heard of oxygen. And oxygen is so cool that we breathe oxygen. Hmm. Let me drink some coffee because I'm so sleep deprived in life. After drinking just half a mug of coffee, I've never felt so happier in my life. Feels like heaven suddenly. My eyes are not tired. Life does not feel like hell. Alright, oxygen. Hydrogen was cooking some great unseen facts. If you don't cook, you might just be a noob, bro. And you don't want to be noob in this generation. Alright. History first. Oxygeny, which makes the maker of acids, which is wrong. All acids contain oxygen, which was wrong. Constitutes 1/5 of the air is oxygen. 1/5. Okay. The second half of the 18th century is often regarded as the age of pneumatic chemistry, meaning the study of gases. Second half, okay. Apparatus for collecting these gases. Henry Cavendish study helped us distinguish the gases. Englishman Joseph discovered 20 radical different types of air: ammonia, nitric oxide, and hydrogen chloride. In, nine in 1774, Priestley collected an air produced by heating red mercury oxide. Burning candle was placed in a vessel filled with this gas. It burned even more brightly, while a lump of burning charcoal glowed with incandescence. Diphlogistic air. Heating up a compound known as niter or saltpeter potassium nitrate released an air. What is that air? We don't know yet. Hundreds of years after Robert Boyle's assistant John Mayo, who reported blood exposed in the air, became brighter, Sheila found that air had also enhancedly burning. Why was air burning? It's oxygen. Let's go, let's go. That's the plot. Wait, oxygen burns air? Wait, what? Fire air. These airs were both, in fact, oxygen. In 1777, the new element of oxygen was discovered by Lavoisius. Before that, we didn't know what oxygen was, so we were breathing air. So after oxygen was discovered, we were breathing oxygen. Don't believe that bullshit because it's something I just made up for dramatic effect. That is why metals get heavier when heated in air to form what chemists call calx. It is metal oxide. Oh yeah, I remember a metal gets heavier when it's oxidified instead of shrinking. I don't remember the exact metal. What was it called? It was definitely like a weaker metal, but I don't remember the weaker metal. Zinc? No, zinc. No, 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 not zinc. Dude. Pneumatic. What is this tool called? The picture on the right, I forgot. Pristelli's experiment and observation of different kinds of air. Pristelli, you are a goat, I swear. Without your goat work, we would have never distinguished oxygen. We would be breathing air, not oxygen. So thanks for saving lives of many. Okay, now for chemical properties. Electronegativity powerhouse. It is the second most electronegative element on the periodic table. What does that even mean? Second most electronegative. Bro wants everything. It pulls every electron. Often noticed near lightning strikes or electrical copy machines. Oxidi oxidation catalyst. Oxygen might just be the goat. It rusts metal, decays organic matter, and feeds flame. Bro might just be the goat we always wanted in life but never got. But actually, we do have him. It also has a blue color variation. Why does it have a blue color variation? We know because lightning strikes can electrify oxygen, making it ozone, and electrical copy machines are electrical. Ozone, I have no idea, I'm making it up. But if we know is normal oxygen is odorless gas and colorless. But it's a oxidizer too. It flees flame, rust, decays matter, and it attracts elements such as electrons from all it touches. It just wants them all. It's just that type of person. It is not human. Next, what is it used for? Human breathing, of course. Human breathing. I breathe through mouth. He breathes air through mouth. What's special about it? Takes mindset to make jokes like that. 55% of all commercially produced oxygen is. So it makes iron into steel. Oxygen is pro. Ooh, of course, because of oxygen's so many properties of flammable, decay, rust, and mainly its reactivity. It can help burn hydrogen for rocket fuel and propulsion. These two so detailed. These guys are just picture, 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 picture. Every 2 seconds we have picture because they are metals. But what picture am I gonna find from oxygen? It literally says it's invisible, bro. What is it? It's colorless, odorless. You think I'm gonna take selfie of oxygen? Why are there dogs outside barking, bro? I'm not gang leader. It's not my territory. What is ethylene oxide? Plastic and antifreeze. Okay, I get it now. Bro, dogs, can you quiet down? Trying to study chemistry elements. Why are there 20 dogs outside, bro? Last thing I want is dogs attacking me. Wait, did I forget something? Oh, yes. How do I create oxygen in my home using nothing but a computer? Let's see how it is created. Photosynthesis. Oh, I love having a plant near my window. It creates oxygen. It's my new chemistry method. Photosynthesis only releases O2 as waste products. Bro, we are literally breathing plants' waste products. And plants die from our waste products. What a spinner of life. Oh yes, electrolysis again. I love electrolysis. It creates oxygen and water. And hydrogen, I mean. Since our atmosphere is 21% oxygen, industry simply harvests it from air. Air is compressed and cooled down below 200 Celsius until it liquefies. As it slowly warms back up, the different gases boils off at different temperatures. Nitrogen boils first at 196 Celsius, leaving pure liquid oxygen behind, which boils at a warmer 183 Celsius. Why is there no blood flow in my legs? I must study biology to find my answer, bro. What did I even do? I'm just sitting in a chair for like 30 minutes only. Well, we can gather oxygen from air, but I don't have 160 Celsius of air in my room, so the only method we have is this. How to make oxygen at home? So stress me. So stress me. What color do we make this? Pink for dramatic effect. We do not need pink lines in life. Hey, bro, can you guys move a little? Okay. You do not need to move. Sounds good enough. Oh yes, this extra space is gonna be a triangle with a very weak head and missing body. Well, photosynthesis makes oxygen and electrolysis. We just run electricity through a positive Anode and hydrogen gas at a negative and cathode, similar to how we make hydrogen gas, but oxygen we use positive anode. And that creates our everyone's favorite beloved gas. Now back to history reading. When carbonated salt, such as lime, are heated with acid, they emit a gas. What is this trying to kill a human being experiment picture I'm seeing right now? What the hell is this? What the hell? What is this mind blowing picture I just found? Yo, bro, breathe some nitrogen. It's like oxygen. Trust me. Trust me. This is my reaction. Fixed air is carbon dioxide. Okay, bro. But the second air, fixed air, is nitrogen gas. The other component of air, which makes up 4/5. 4/5. Nitrogen is just a background gas. Wow, background character. Far-reaching uses. Only two nitrogen atoms are tight bound together. The triple bond. It is abundant in living matter, present in amino acids, composed of DNA. It is largely extracted from microorganisms called diazotrophies, many of them bacteria. They contain enzyma called nitrogases. I must read biology. It sounds so interesting. I can make a cure to life. Haber-Bosch process involving an iron catalyst by supplying the fertilizer essential for boosting crop yield. The Haber-Bosch fixation of nitrogen is perhaps the most important enabler, for better or worse. Many explosives from dynamite and TNT to Semtex are also compounds of nitrogen. Reactions that recombine nitrogen atoms into two atom molecules with their strong, stable chemical bond release a large amount of energy. The flip side of nitrogen gas inertness, you might say, is the extreme and even hazardous reactivity of some nitrogen's components. Wow, nitrogen. Oxygen is actually a poison. The internal chemical oxidation is the primary cause of biological aging and physical decline of over time. Vitamin C and vitamin E are needed to neutralize this oxygen damage. 100% oxygen is the reason. So, oxygen itself is poison. No wonder it decays everything. We need superior gas to stop aging. But right now, I need to focus on nitrogen. Wow, I found picture of nitrogen. Isn't that life changing? KJ, what? 845, not 800, 945 kJ required to break the bond of nitrogen. These guys are so loyal. Oof, life. Let me continue studying for nitrogen. So all food bags are sealed with nitrogen gas. Wow, I just realized that's fun fact. Microchips and semiconductors are manufactured inside sealed nitrogen globes or clean rooms to prevent any stray oxygen atom from corroding the microcircuitry during assembly. Bro, oxygen is such a op. I just realized. Bro, oxygen, I trusted oxygen, but it's just a op. All it does is corrode and poison human beings. Will I stop breathing oxygen? Of course not. I love oxygen. Or will I dislike oxygen? Of course. Do I make sense? No, but you went quiet, meaning you understood something that I didn't understand myself. Now, how do I make nitrogen gas at home? Let's see. All living organisms require nitrogen to build protein and DNA. However, because atmospheric nitrogen gas is locked behind that impenetrable triple bond, plants and animals cannot use it directly. We are swimming in a sea of nitrogen, but we are chemically starving for it. Nature relies on swell dwelling bacteria possessing enzyme called nitrogenesis, which uses cluster of iron and molybdenum atoms to capture N2 and slowly bend it, reducing ammonia at normal temperature. If nitrogen gas is peaceful, why nitrogen-based chemicals so violently explosive? Now I understand the coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb joke. Now I finally understand that joke. Hydrogen bomb, nitrogen bomb. Oh my god. Because of the basic law of thermodynamics, systems naturally seek their lowest, most stable energy state. Nitrogen is temporarily forced to bond with carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. During a temporary state, these bonds are relatively weak and highly unstable. Explosive reaction is triggered, these unstable bonds instantly shatter, so nitrogen atoms can rush back and forth. Ultra stable triple bond states. Basically, it's hydrogen bomb versus no nitrogen bomb versus coughing baby. Okay, never mind. Let me understand how it is made. So again, we can just steal it from oxygen by, I mean, steal it from air by freezing the air into liquid form below 200 Celsius. As liquid air is slowly heated, nitrogen boils off first at signature 196 Celsius and capture on the top. But we do not have that much temperature. So we make it via PSA. What is PSA? I don't know. Let's read it together. Pressure swing adsorption. The sea physically traps the slightly smaller oxygen molecules, allowing pure dry nitrogen gas to pass straight through. Wow. Wow. It's like this. Oh my god. There's this pipe. Air is flowing through. Then this pipe continues into this big hydrogen bomb. It does not look like a bomb. Let's give it a tail. Okay, now it looks like a bomb. Then there is this a hammer that goes down, blocking the air, which only leaves the nitrogen, while the clean oxygen, which we will color it blue even if it is colorless, is stopped right here and flows out Trust me. Trust me. The top 10 processes that never happened. Ooh, bomb. I need to find a picture of bomb. Let me find a picture of bomb. we have bomb here. Bomb. We have a higher. This is a hydrogen bomb, guys. Trust me. All right, let me box this in. All right. Whew. Nitrogen gas, oxygen gas, hydrogen gas. How many gases left? Carbon. What page am I in? 118 carbon. Caloric, chlorine, fluorine, iodine, bromine, chromium, and cadmium. Am I in the next chapter? No. It seems like there's a lot of stuff. Yes, I will remember you. Lemian, I will remember you. Trust me. Very educative thing I was making about nitrogen. Phew. Why do I have one viewer suddenly when in primordial times I never had viewers? It's like a new hoax of false hope. How long has the stream been so far? 1 hour? Yeah, I need my much needed 10-minute break. So my dear one viewer that's watching this, or is it zero viewers? I don't know. System is probably glitching. No way I have one viewer watching me study chemistry. But even if I do, thanks so much for watching me study chemistry for 1 minute. But I need a break now, so I will see you in a hot minute. Oh, life. And life is not too much lifing lately, I can't lie. Back to my zero viewer live stream. And the next guess, my break was kinda interesting. I feel livelier, but still tired and sleepy. Because we all need sleep in our lives, and that's the one thing I'm lacking always. Do we go down or do we go right? Let's continue go right. Carbon, dioxide, oxide, bloxide. All right, what can we learn about carbon? The discovery of carbon seems an almost absurd concept. It is the product of fire in the form of mineral graphite and diamond. Carbon strips away oxygen from oxide minerals of copper, tin, and iron, component of gunpowder, sometimes used in medicine, preservatives. Greeks called it the adamus, meaning invincible. Diamonds formed in carbon rich fluids circulating deep on Earth. The famous 105.6 carat Kohinoor diamond in the crown of the British monarch came from there, in India. Um, Same element, different substance. Graphite and diamond supplies, not so much by nature of atoms, but how they are joined together. In graphite, atoms are linked like sheets of hexagonal rings. In diamonds, it's three-dimensional. What? Coal is similar to graphite. Bro, what am I reading? Is this history? Where am I? Diamonds can be burned by heat of lenses. It was transformed into charcoal-like material known as carbon. Until Lavoisier has gone to the Guillotine. What? What happened? Lavoisiers? Bro, I thought you were the goat in chemistry. What happened? Why are you going to guillotine? I thought we were reading about carbon, but it's just telling me about diamond. He measured that the amount of fixed air produced by heating diamond until it disappeared was the same as produced from burning a equal mass of coal. That's it, bro. That is what was the details. Let me ask AI because AI is so much more better than this book. Firstly, we have this visual picture of their atomic structure. We have graphite, diamond in some 3D space, graphene, and fluorine is just a football. Like, bro, what happened? Carbon has four valence electrons. Let me write this down. So one of the sh- shocking things I've read is carbon atoms love bonding with each other just as much as others. What type of incest is this, bro? That was my first thought. Then I realized I might just be making things up. So I had to read it again and realize I was not wrong. Well, carbon can suit carbon. What can I even do? Now, what is it used for? Hmm. Hmm. Let me check comments. Yo, welcome back. Whoa, bro. All right, so what are these unknown facts that I'm writing down without reading for even 1 second? So carbon has a lightweight carbon fibers which helps in aerospace, supercars, high-end bicycles, and used in steel smelting. It is also used in virtually all of fossil fuel and virtually all synthetic plastics because of polymerization. Hydrocarbon makes up coal, oil, natural gas, and filtration too. You know your water purifier? Well, active carbon has a massive surface size of 1 grab. Grab? Who's grab? Wait, who's grab? Gram. 1 gram equals to 300 meters square, which is physically traps impurities of water and toxic gases out of air. So we can use that as a filter. And then, as I said earlier, we could use it to make iron into steel because it makes it tougher using crystalline lattice. Now, how do I create carbon at home? That's a good question. Well, we can get it by photosynthesis. Every carbon atom in your body was forged inside the cores of giant stars through triple alpha process where three helium nuclei alpha particles fuse together under immense gravitational pressure. Okay, we are not getting carbon atoms from cosmic synthesis, so better off getting carbon atoms from geographical mining. So I will get carbon atoms from smelting coal. That sounds better, safer. Bruh. Carbon. Why carbon? Why not carbon? I expected so much, but got so little. But carbon is carbon. Next thing is called caloric. It reminds me of calorie. What's special about this? What is this? It doesn't even have, what is it called? Thing on the periodic table. Is this even an element? What is fire? Might be an answer to ask what is heat? Many chemical reactions generate heat, not only fire. Heat flows. Water also flows. So fire equals to water? No. No. Heat was sort of fluid too. Really? So fire equals to water? Wait, let me continue. Phlogiston was itself the substance of heat. The substance of heat, he said, was a subtle fluid that he called caloric. So caloric is just heat. Cold was the absence of caloric. So caloric is not really an element, it was a false idea, which gave birth to thermodynamics. Theory of how engines driven by heat, such as steam engines, worked in 1820s. He drew on the caloric theory on his compatriot Lavoisier according to the substance. Not a bad legacy for a fictional element. Mm. Heat was not produced by substance but by process, namely motion. As to motion of what and through what cause, he couldn't say. Heat was arising from movement of invisible small particles, the atoms and molecules of which substances are composed. This so-called kinetic theory of heat became the foundation of modern theory of thermodynamics. So, this caloric, unknown, unseen, non existing fictional thing is the reason behind thermodynamics. Oh, yo, Lemon, you're back. Do you have any tips for me to get an A in school? Yes, I certainly have tips. You see, as a formal backbenching failure of school, I would recommend you study like me, making this visual notes and mainly studying with the help of AI. Teachers are not the same. AI will give you much better answers to your questions. Study at least 1 hour every day and use mnemonics and memorization techniques. Don't just read a book like me. Don't just read a book. Okay. You're smart. You're awesome and smart. Thank you. Thank you so much, Isip. I've been streaming to zero viewers for the past 2 hours, and I love having your presence. In fun fact, I woke up very early today. Why did I wake up so early today? Reasons. What are the reasons? I love chemistry, trust. I love chemistry so much, I want to study it. And using chemistry, I want to make such hardware that can one day change the world. So that's why I have to study chlorine now. Now, what is chlorine? I have no idea. Why will my monitor refresh in 3 minutes? That's such a sad thing. What is nuclear metronome carbon? All right, we have a visual of chlorine. We can see what is chlorine, but we don't know chlorine. Sodium chloride is the most useful, important thing for humans. Why? Salt can be extracted from seawater. Chlorine as a distinct element owes much more to a kind of salt, known in ancient times as salt ammoniac, which is ammonium chloride. Sal ammoniac only truly entered chemists' literature through investigation of Arabic chemistry. Muhammad ibn Zariya al-Razi described in the 10th century and explained how it can be distilled. Distill basically means turned into gas and back to liquid, or liquid into gas and then back to liquid, which is the same thing. Hydrogen hydrogen chloride dissolves into water to form hydrochloric acid, which is a very useful fact. Why do we need hydrochloric acid? I have no idea. Probably melts things. Which, along with sulfuric and nitric acid, is one of the so-called mineral acids that were among the chemist's most potent reagents. I wanted to study more, but my monitor is refreshing. Do you have any memorization techniques? Okay. Because my monitor is refreshing, basically it means I won't be able to see anything in my monitor. How you become so smart? I'm really not smart. I just read a lot of books and store the knowledge. Hmm. To answer your question about memorization, firstly, whenever you read something, you should do your best to explain it in your words. For example, if you read a sentence that says atoms are the smallest particles, then how will you explain it in your words? You can just say atoms are small. How small? Smallest. But you're just copy pasting the text now. You have to articulate them in your language that your brain understands. So you can say atoms are so small I can't even see them. Now that's something you can remember because you said it yourself. Next is visual and spatial. You have to remember them in a way that makes sure they are images because our human brain remembers images better than words. That's why I put like random pictures next to random chemistry elements so I remember them better. And the third best approach is using spatial memory. Your mind remembers locations and real world architecture and landmarks better than words and images, static images. So once you're done studying, you should find like a random picture of like a fictional location or a real life location like your room. Put the things you studied, such as I'm studying chemistry. Once done studying chemistry, I'm going to make a mental map of random pictures into a fully fledged spatial memory. I know it sounds complicated. Just imagine a picture of New York City. Probably that's unimaginable if you don't live in New York City. So let's picture something else. Imagine the rivals arena map. The starting ledge is hydrogen. The ledge next to it is the next element. The ledge next to it is the next element. So if you walk through the map, you remember the map completely in your mind. Now you walk through the map, you will remember all of the elements too. So when you're studying, you should imagine any rival's map and put the things you're studying in it so you remember them. Yes, you're applying rivals to studying. I know, genius. Speaking of genius, after chemistry, I want to study coding. After coding, I want to study politics. After politics, I want to study culture or extroversion. I need some friends in life, bro. And as my monitor is dead, I don't even know. I can't even read your own comments. So you have to wait for a minute. Let me close my eyes until they're fixed. Okay, I'm gonna be on mute for a few minutes. All right, my monitor is back. Very smart, putting studying in rivals. Yes. If you can hit like 2 headshots, you can also remember the arena map. Actually, I'm gonna study the periodic table using the maps I know, such as hydrogen, then helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. I'm gonna put them in the rivals map so I can remember them. Trust me. It's gonna be so funny when I'm done with this book finally. I will remember all of these chemicals from maps I've played in games. That will be a fun little journey of mine. But back to chlorine. Now, what is chlorine? I need facts about chlorine. Let me continue reading. By dissolving sal ammoniac with nitric acid, you get chlorine. It was also known as marinic acid. Carl Wilhelm tried to form manganese oxide polyosride from dense greenish gas. This stuff soon became used dissolved in water as bleach in textile industry. So chlorine is used to make bleach that cleans our clothes. Some contemporaries of Skellin, including Borthrier, believe that his acrid gas contained hitherto unknown elements known as muriaticum combined with oxygen. I have no idea what that means. I don't know how to explain it in my own words. Basically, they found some other greenish component after mixing it with oxygen. This gas was indeed an element and proposed the name chlorine from the Greek word chloros. It means pale yellow. Thank you for making the mobile rivals video. It helped me a lot. You're welcome, bro. I made like 5 guides on mobile. So rivals, it was my primary gaming intentions back in the day, but nowadays studying is more important than rivals. Because rivals, too many cheaters, man. I can't lie. I join one match, there's 20 cheaters. My enemy cheating, my teammate cheating, my enemy's teammate cheating, me with a RPG. Alright, I have some facts now. Chlorine has 7 valence electrons in its outer shell. And from school, we know electrons want to be stable, and 8 electrons in the outer shell makes it stable. It's 2, 8, 8, and then 16. No, 18, I think so. So it has 7, so it wants to steal 1 electron from another atoms. And it naturally is also a diametric gas, meaning it's 2.5 denser than air. Leaking the gas does not float away, similar to hydrogen, which floats away into space. Rather, it stays on the ground and fills up the lands. And fun fact, if you drop a warm sodium metal into a jar of chlorine, it produces table salt in an explosive way. Yeah, you can even count the cheaters, I swear, bro. Like, did you know about a fun fact? If you shoot the flares on the floor and the enemy is like one of those ground cheaters that float beneath you, you can actually instant kill them. I once was in a 4-0 situation. I threw flares on the ground. He teleported beneath my floor, instantly died. And then I somehow won 4-5 magically. Wow, it also disinfects water. Chlorine is very useful then. It's also used in one third of industries to make PVC pipes, such as your household toilet pipe and also credit cards. Wow, chlorine is very useful actually. First of all, your water can have bacteria, even if coming from municipal drinking waters or swimming pools, where some water does enter your mouth, and you don't want bacteria around your body. So they use water. They use hypochlorous acid of chlorine to mix and kill the bacteria from inside. Next, it is used in one third of industries of plastic for household items. It's also used for paper bleaching. So during in the paper industries, to bleach the wood into pure white paper, they use chlorine. Finally, for pharmaceuticals, even if the medicine doesn't contain chlorine is used in the initial synthesis process. Also, if a cheater flies above you, just get chainsaw and hit a boom. Hit it boom. The trust is gonna one shot me with shotgun. Bro, it's gonna one shot me with shotgun and then start flying and emoting. What am I gonna do against it? Report it? Anti-cheat is with the cheater, man. It's not gonna help me. Now, how do I make chlorine at home? What is this extremely complicated AI generated process it gave me? I cannot picture this. Alright, what is this complicated process to make chlorine? The primary industrial method is concentrated salt water, brine NaCl, which is a salt we remember. I think it's like table salt, with H2O, which is just water. We need brine, table salt, and water is subjugated to electrolysis, which we know from earlier is used to make oxygen and hydrogen from water by using current with positive and negative anodes and cathodes. So we have 2 NaCl, which is just ta- 2 2 table salt with 2 water with electricity equals to Cl2 gas, which is chlorine gas, yes, and hydrogen gas plus 2 NaOH Lyle, which I have no idea what that is. It's a mix. What is the last one? Brine? I don't know. This single massive electrochemical process yields three highly valuable industrial chemicals at once: chlorine gas, hydrogen gas, and sodium hydroxide. Oh, this is sodium hydroxide. Whew. Rivals is serious game, but chemistry is more serious. Seems like I can only get chlorine by mixing a lot of things. During World War I, where did history come from? Chlorine became the first gas used as mass scale as a chemical weapon. When inhaled, chlorine gas instantly reacts with moisture lining your respiratory tract, converting water into lethal hydrochloric acid HCl and hydrochlorous acid HClO directly inside your lungs. This acid burns away the tissue, causing edema. The lungs fill with their own bodily fluids, effectively drowning the victims in their own chest. Cold AF. Why am I laughing? Lung acid weapons in World War One. In 20th century, humanity synthesized chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, to use for non-toxic refrigerants. However, these stable molecules leaked and drifted into the stratosphere. They encountered in intense ultraviolet radiation. This UV light breaks carbon chlorine bonds, CFCs, releasing a single free chlorine radical. It tears the ozone O3 apart to form chlorine monoxide and oxygen. A single chlorine atom can float into the upper atmosphere and destroy 100 ozone molecules before finally drifting away. Bro, we should not let chlorine into the ozone, I swear. Or else our atmosphere is gone. Ah, alright. Next is fluorine, iodine, bromine. Bro, why are there three at once? Then chromium and cadmium. And then some earth minerals. I feel so down to earth and so physically dead. I do not want to study more. So let's leave it for future me. Alright, chlorine. Today I studied hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, and chlorine. Why is the line so tilted? Like, what's wrong with the line? Now we go down. These guys look kind of intimidating. Mind blowing notes. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, and then Chapter 5. The Golden Age. How long have I been streaming for? 2 hours. I think I need my much needed break. I be locked in. Yes, bro, you need to lock in. Wait. Let's study chemistry with rivals, bro. Wait. I just got the perfect idea when I was telling you about what is this low quality map picture. I want a higher quality picture. Bruh, what are these low quality pictures? Let me ask AI to make this picture into high quality. Wait. Okay, let me. I'm so bored that I want to just memorize these elements. What did what did AI make into the rivals map? What is this? All right. We firstly have this guy. Okay. I don't ask why there's a random robot. Don't. Robot. Alright, so what am I gonna do with this map? I'm gonna use Mnemonics, of course. So we have starting robot, ending. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We can remember up to aluminum. Aluminum, yes, up to aluminum. Okay, so we firstly start with hydrogen. I can't even write. What is this handwriting? Okay, then after hydrogen, we have helium. Helium will be kind of gray, but I can't see gray here. Okay, how about I just write it with actual letters? Let me center it. Look, we're memorizing chemistry formula with the rivals map. So we all know we throw grenade and jump up here, but sometimes we have to sight up here. So this is helium. Okay, next with this guy. What do we do here? Sometimes we can fist jump here. So it's lithium. I haven't studied lithium yet. What is the compound? I don't know the compound. Is Li, which is the number 3. Hydrogen, helium, lithium. Now I just close my eyes, imagine the ramp. I see hydrogen atoms. Oh my god. Sometimes I don't want a grenade jump, so I look up and I see the ramp. I sight up there and I see helium because helium also flies away. So it's kind of factual. Then we have lithium. I don't know what lithium is. Let me actually Google it. It's probably a gas. It's used for batteries. Wait, I did study lithium. I just forgot. Or I just studied the word. So batteries. Battery, a chainsaw, trust. We chainsaw down here, we go straight. Trust me. Then we have beryllium, which is B, which is the 4th element. Now we till this legend. Studying chemistry with rivals. Sometimes this whole thing we jump there, or we jump to the next one. Then we have boron, which is just B. Let me see your reaction after seeing what I'm doing. Bro, you need to lock in. We're memorizing chemistry with rivals map. Wait, I remember there's no hole here. AI is gaslighting. Then we have carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. Things I clearly remember. Mm. What am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my life? But this is 10 times more fun though. Uh, I don't. I know a lot about carbon. Carbon is used for many things. It's so lightweight that we can make supercars, aerospace, and I forgot. Nitrogen. Nitrogen. I remember the coughing baby. Nitrogen bombs. It is very explosive and reactive, and it's very strong outer shell. As such, if you try to remove it, it breaks. Oxygen is just poisonous air. Then we have fluorine. Is it fluorine? The quality is so bad. It's fluorine, not fluorine. Fluorine is F. Then we have neon, which is N E. Hmm. Now why am I tilting it that way? Let me tilt it this way. Neon Ne, which is 10. I think it's a bit too much tilted. After that is sodium, magnesium, and aluminum. I forgot their chemical symbols. Sodium is Na, magnesium is Mg. Wait, I can't just move. No, I can't move. I can move this though, so it's easier to see. That's all. Now I copy everything and I move it down. Now, how do I memorize this? I just imagine the map while closing my eyes. So first, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, and boron. So I go up the ramp, it's hydrogen. Sometimes they throw grenades, so I go down and sight up to the big wall, which was lithium, I think so. No, helium. Okay. Third one is lithium. So we have helium because it floats up. Helium is H. No, helium can't be H. Helium is He. Hydrogen is H. I'm closing my eyes by the way. I'm not seeing this. And then we have lithium, which is Li. The ramp. The first three steps. Hydrogen, helium, lithium. Then we have two ramps in front, which are the pure walls of life. Beryllium and boron, which start with both B. First one is Be, then the next one is only B. So if I go back, I go up ramp, which is hydrogen. There is grenade. I go down. I sight up, which is helium. I see a guy cheater flying across the map. I go down again. I fist up to lithium. Then I realize I'm better than the cheater, so I sight up to the ramp further away, which is beryllium. Then that guy throws C4 at my face, and I use riot shield to block, which is boron in the next ramp. Afterwards, I realize I'm wasting my life playing rivals, so I try to inhale carbon dioxide in carbon's the furthest sixth stage, but then realize I'm the center of the galaxy, which is nitrogen in the middle of the map. But then I realize my life is slowly going to end because there's in the left there is oxygen, which is the eighth rank. After all that hard work, we reach fluorine, which is only F, in the enemy territory. Most of the time when I sight up there, I die. What a fun fact. So I sight up to the one in the next, which is neon color. Why is it neon? Because knife spammers always camp there. And then we have sodium, which is Na, which is the enemy's whole ramp, where they can chainsaw and rush me. And then their sight up ramp is magnesium because they throw molotovs at my face from that range. And their ramp is made out of aluminum, which is so strong. Even if I throw bombs at it, it will not break. Now let me close my eyes and try to remember it. Starting with hydrogen H, helium He. What is after helium? Beryllium, I think so. Be. No, it's lithium. Oh my god, why do I forget lithium? Let me start again. Hydrogen H, helium He, lithium Li, beryllium Be, boron, the second ramp. Then there is carbon C in the left. In the middle, there is nitrogen because I hate my life, and nitrogen is the most abundant. Then there is in the right is oxygen because I'm poisoning myself. Then in the bottom left is sodium Na. Next to it is neon. Wait, no, I'm wrong. It's fluorine, F. Yeah, I'm wrong. Then it's neon. Then sodium, magnesium, aluminum. NaMgAl. Let me try to say it again. Hydrogen H, helium He, which is the side up ramp. Then we have the whole ramp, which is lithium Li. Afterwards, I hate my life, so I go to the bigger ramps, starting with beryllium Be. After that is boron B, which two ramps that every time I go up kills me. Then there is the center ramps of the three. Furthest left corner starts with carbon, then nitrogen, then oxygen, which is oxygen is the eighth one, nitrogen 7, carbon 6. Afterwards, we are back. I forgot this part last time, which is fluorine, enemy territory ramps. Fluorine is 9, fluorine is F, I think so. Then we have neon, which is Ne. Enemy's whole ramp is sodium. Their side up ramp is magnesium, which is 12, I think so. And their main ramp is made out of aluminum, which is Al 13. And just like that, I memorized the 13 stages of the periodic table using the rivals map. Whew, that was really fun, I can't lie. I want to do more. I'm going to choose the next map and then study the next few things. But today, I want to take a break. Yo, Lyman, do you see this magic? This is how you can apply gaming to study better. All you have to do is memorize a map, and you can memorize anything out of it. And thanks for being in the stream, bro. Later, I'm gonna study coding, so when I do study coding, I wish to see you again if you're interested. So, yeah.